Long ago, in the times of Lao Tzu, there was an old farmer living in a village in China. He was poor, but he had a stunning white horse. Many people in the village were envious of this white horse and wanted to buy the horse for a high price. The village people each offered lots of money to buy the farmer's horse for themselves. However, the farmer refused all offers, no matter how much the villagers offered. The villagers couldn't understand why the farmer wouldn't take all their money and sell his horse. One day, as the old farmer was working in the field as usual, he heard from the villagers that his horse is gone, nowhere to be seen. Maybe this rare, beautiful white horse is stolen by someone. Everyone was upset that the horse is now gone. They said to the farmer, "You've made a big mistake. You could have sold the horse when you had the chance. You could have made a fortune by selling the horse to us. Now you are poor and horseless. How unfortunate." But the farmer just casually replied, "Maybe it is, and maybe it isn't. It is just so." The villagers laughed at the farmer's carelessness and ridiculed him. After some time had passed, the farmer's horse came back to the village. Not only did the white horse return, but brought back with him a herd of wild horses. Now the farmer's stable was filled with horses. The villagers came to the farmer and said, "Wow, how lucky are you? Now you have many horses. How fortunate you are now." The farmer replied, "Maybe I am, and maybe I'm not. It is just so."
Huh?
What?
Soon, the farmer's only son decided to train all of the wild horses. While he was riding on one of them during training, he fell off of the horse and broke his leg. When the villagers heard about this, they again voiced out their opinions. "How unfortunate. Your son is your only support, and sadly, his leg is broken. And now you have no one who can truly support you in your old age. What bad luck you have, old man. This is truly unfortunate." The farmer replied, "Maybe I am, and maybe I'm not. It is just so."
Huh?
What?
The villagers were puzzled. They didn't understand how he can be so composed and unconcerned. Some time have passed again, and this time, a huge war broke out in the mainland. To raise the chance of victory, all healthy young men were forced to enter the war and fight for their country. The only young men left behind were those who were sick and injured. This, of course, including the farmer's son with a broken leg. All of the villagers with young and healthy sons were devastated and scared, for they knew their sons had very little chance of returning, if they even return at all. The villagers begged and pleaded with the government to let their sons be exempt from entering into the war.
No.
But it was of no use. All of their sons were required to go to war no matter what. The villagers went to go see the farmer and said, "You are so lucky. You won't have to experience the pain of sending your son to war and waiting, not knowing if he will return safely. You are indeed very fortunate. It is a blessing. How lucky that your son broke his leg." The farmer replied, "Maybe I am, and maybe I'm not. It is just so." In life, we see and experience the different events and judge them as good or bad, trying to force control over the events to get the outcomes we want to see in front of us. We become overjoyed when the good luck happens, as things go according to how we want to see it. But when things do not go as we have hoped, we quickly become discouraged and upset, believing that it's over, or that nothing goes right, filling ourselves with regret and disappointment. But the truth of the matter is, we need to just see things the way they are. Because no one can determine for sure how that certain event will ultimately turn out. Just like the story of the farmer, what seemed to sound like bad news in the moment could bring positive outcomes that you never saw coming. Vice versa, when you are excited about things that are going your way, it can later lead to inconvenient disturbances through unexpected ways.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
The farmer in the story experienced the different events of life given to him, accepted them as is, and was not quick to judge. He chose not to jump to any conclusions, displaying equanimity. Think back to different life events of your life, and you can probably find one or more experiences when you told yourself, "Thank goodness it happened the way it did." True happiness comes when we can stay calm and composed within ourselves, rather than allowing the events outside of us to control how we feel. So, if you're looking for happiness in your life, instead of judging whether things are good or bad, just accept it for what it is. Because what may look like a very unfortunate event right now in this moment can become your greatest asset tomorrow.